Hey everyone, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new writing vlog. So I have not written in months, therefore there have been no writing vlogs, which I do believe I warned you guys about if you've watched my writing vlogs recently. But I have been feeling incredibly burnt out and incredibly just overwhelmed. So I think last you guys saw I finished revising my novel What You Mean to Me, and then I was going to take a break, which I obviously have done. Like I said, have not written in months, and honestly it's been good. I feel like I really needed a break, but it's also really sad because I don't think I've not written for this amount of time in a really long time, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think I've taken this big of a writing break in years, and I miss it. But what I miss the most is not just like the act of writing and like getting things done, but the feeling of like connection and happiness and excitement that I get from writing. Like that feeling when it's working and you're like creating something new and you feel accomplished and excited. Like I feel like I haven't felt that in a really long time, like that, just that pure love and adoration for writing. I think I've just been feeling really disconnected from it recently. I think there's a myriad of reasons for why that is, but this vlog is going to be about trying to find that joy for writing again. I'm going to try to work on a new project, a Valentine's Day-esque kind of story. It's currently February 10th, maybe. I don't even know what day it is today. I think it's the 10th. And so Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. I'm in that kind of mood, and this just kind of is the project that I'm the most excited for right now. So I'm gonna try to work on it a little bit in this vlog, but the main point of this vlog is to read The Happy Writer by Marissa Meyer. This is her writing craft book, but it's not just a writing craft book. In the description it says part craft guide, part writing coach, and part cheerleader. This book offers useful advice on a slew of common writing and publishing ailments, such as how to end procrastination, how to build a social media platform that reflects your personality, how to get your imagination to overflow with new ideas, how to listen to your intuition when receiving a critique on your work, how to overcome imposter syndrome, what to do when you're stuck in the query trenches, and so much more. I just feel like this book is going to be full of things that are gonna hopefully motivate me to get back into writing and to hopefully find that joy in writing again. That's kind of Marissa Meyer's whole thing with her podcast, which was called The Happy Writer, which it just ended and I'm so sad about it. It was like one of my favorite podcasts to listen to every now and again, so I'm really sad about that. But now also with this book, I got this book recently in the mail. I pre-ordered it, came out in January, and the second I got the book in my hands, I just felt so excited to read it. Like, this is all I've wanted to read, but I just wasn't ready to start a writing vlog yet, and I wanted to vlog the experience of reading this book with you guys. The full title of the book is The Happy Writer: Get More Ideas, Write More Words, and Find More Joy from First Draft to Publication and Beyond. So like, it's a chunky little book, so I'm gonna try to read the entire thing in this vlog. We're gonna annotate it. We're going full out, trying to suck everything out of this book that I can. I'm gonna read it cover to cover, and I'm really excited about it. It has like a whole index at the beginning to tell you everything to expect in the book. There's an introduction, a how to use this book section, and then it's divided into parts. So we have part 1, Eureka, fill your well for lifelong creativity. I feel like I need that right now. I have not been feeling very creative as of late, like not for anything, like not to do like crafts, not to do my bullet journal. Like, that's been a huge struggle. Writing, like, I just have not been feeling creative, and it's been making me feel so sad because I'm such a creative person. So to not have any drive or motivation to use that side of myself has been like incredibly disheartening. So hopefully that section will help. Part 2, resistance is futile, set goals and procrastination and get things done. Part 3, from first draft to finally finished, bring more joy to your process. Part 4, querying, publication and beyond, bring more joy to your career. Part 5, here there be dragons, common challenges to writer happiness. I feel like that will also hopefully be a helpful section. Part 6, these are a few of my favorite things, little joys, big payoffs, and that's the final part. So I'm very excited to get into this. I do work today, but I don't work till a little bit later. I do want to film a video before going to work, but the light in this room is so harsh. I don't have curtains up in here yet, so like the light on the bookshelves are a little bit harsh right now, so I'm waiting for like the sun to hopefully move far enough out of the way that I can film at my desk with the books in the background and it not be a problem. So fingers crossed that I can get that done before going to work. But before I do that, I want to try to get some reading done of this, so we'll see how much I can get done, but I'm very, very excited. I have tabs that kind of match the colors of the book that I'm going to be using, so I just need to assign them to something. I'm thinking I want to keep track of like advice, writing craft specific things, maybe like inspirational type things, and maybe something else. I don't know. I think this is going to be like a figure it out along the way kind of annotation system, but I'm also going to use these tabs to mark off maybe each part in the book so that I know exactly where they are, although there is like the index at the beginning, so that's not super important. But maybe if there's like a chapter that I really, really love, I'll mark it off just so I can quickly flip to it without having to look at the index. I don't know. We're gonna see how this goes. I haven't annotated a writing craft book to this extent with like particular like color coded tabs. I typically just pick one color that like matches the vibe of the cover. So I'm gonna sit down right now, get to reading this book, and hopefully I'll have time to film that video before I have to leave for work. Not gonna pick up the camera to vlog today because I don't have any makeup on, I don't like look presentable, and then I figured, you know what, screw it, who cares that I don't have makeup on, who cares that I don't look, you know, all put together. It's fine, it's fine. It's currently the last day of February, so it's been a while since I've spoken to you, but that doesn't mean I haven't been doing stuff. So I have been reading The Happy Writer by Marissa Meyer. I am very slowly making my way through this book, but I just sat and read like all of part 2, I think, or like a lot of part 2. So I'm now on page 127 of this book, so we're a chunk of the way through. I've been marking it up, just kind of feeling very inspired by it. I love Marissa Meyer, as we all know. I really value the kind of like writing advice and tips that she's giving in this book. Today I ended up annotating a lot of different tips and things that I want to try to implement into my writing routine. Some things she was talking about I already do, so that was very validating. Yeah, then there were a couple of inspiring things that she said. There was like this whole part, the last chapter of the second part, and it was be kind to your future self, and it's like, what would your future self want you to do today? Like, would your future self thank you for what you're doing today kind of vibe. And I was talking about like picturing yourself when you're old and like seeing all the books that you've written on the shelf and thinking about readers that you've met and inspired, and I honestly, I teared up a little bit because obviously there's nothing I want more in this world than to be a published author. But yeah, so that section got me a little bit and felt very inspiring. Kind of lit a fire under my butt to get back to work. So I am taking a break from this though for the rest of the day because my eyes are kind of hurting because I was reading in this room in the dark for a while because it was very, very bright in here, and then all of a sudden the sun set very quickly and it was dark and I didn't feel like getting up, so kind of hurt my eyes a little bit. But I'm really enjoying this and I really do want to implement some of these things into my life. There was like a whole chapter about taking breaks, which I'm not very good at, like actively in a writing session taking breaks, like working for 20 minutes and then getting up for 5 or whatever the, you know, case may be. I'm very, very bad at it, and when I do take a break I tend to just sit at my desk still and like watch YouTube or do something else on my computer, which she talks about not being good. Like, you should be getting up and like doing something else, if not just for like your physical health of like not being in the same position literally all day. So there was like a couple of things that like she recommended to do, like different things that you could do, like get a snack or a beverage, dance, take a short walk, tidy your workspace or a room in your house, practice a different skill such as drawing or playing an instrument. So there's some things that I would like to implement. I would love to dance around. I love doing that, just like blaring music and dancing, and I could totally do that for a couple of songs and then get back to work. I would love to take walks. I actually enjoy walking. My anxiety like gets in the way of doing it. Like if I don't have like a set destination of somewhere that I'm going, I find it really like extremely difficult, if not impossible, to leave my house, to just like aimlessly walk around. Like it's not enough for me to be like, okay, my final destination is to like come back to my house. That's not enough for me. Like I feel like I need to be going somewhere to do something, which is stupid, like so dumb. But like I really enjoy like my little walk to the train station so I can go to work. So why don't I just like do that around my neighborhood and then come back and do more writing? Like, I don't know why I don't do these things for myself. Anxiety is weird. But that is something that I would like to do. But another thing I would like to implement is jump rope. I loved to jump rope as a kid. I did it all the time. Every single recess and lunch break I would be jumping rope, and I got a jump rope at some point last year, I think, and I haven't even opened it yet. And that is just like, why haven't I opened it? I don't know. And you know, I actually do know. I think it's because again, the anxiety. I don't want to be perceived while I'm doing something. So I always felt like I didn't have like a good enclosed space where I could do the jump rope without feeling like people as they're like walking by, because we do like kind of live in a busy street. Like there's always constantly people walking or driving by, and it made me so viscerally uncomfortable. But now, the new house, we do have like a closed off, fenced off area where I could totally go jump rope and nobody could see me, and it would just be me jumping rope. So why not go take like a 5-10 minute break, jump rope outside, and then come back and do some writing? So these are just some things that I would like to implement to try to, you know, just take better care of myself, better care of my physical health, better care of my mental health, all of the above. But yeah, anyways, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm going to slowly continue my way through it. I was hoping to finish it this month, but life's hectic. I got sick. It is what it is, but hopefully in March I will finish this book. But I actually did do some writing the other day. I don't remember when I did it, but not that long ago. But I sat down and was at my computer and did a little bit of like character work and planning. Normally when I do character work, I do it all by hand, but I did just get a new keyboard. I don't know if I've mentioned that in this vlog yet, and I don't know if my like desk setup video is coming out before this one or after, but I did buy myself a nice clickety-clackety keyboard and kind of updated my whole desk setup to hopefully inspire and motivate me to work, because I love the sound of clickety-clackety keyboard. So I was hoping that that would make me want to sit here and type more, which has in a way, but I'm also not used to typing on it yet with my long nails, so it slows me down a little bit, which is kind of discouraging, but whatever. So I sat down to type at my computer. I wrote out like the basic premise, and then I ended up having a bunch of questions that I didn't have figured out yet. So I wrote down all the questions, I bolded them to make sure that I could see them. So now I just have to like answer the questions. I was kind of doing like a stream of consciousness kind of thing. And then I also was working on the characters a little bit. My main character still does not have a name. I think I might have decided on one when I was talking to Alyssa the other day. I'm not sure. I don't know why, but I'm like feeling so picky about her name, even though like I immediately got the love interest name. But anyways, I was working on her character a little bit. I didn't really work on him at all. I just kind of put his picture and his name down. But then I was working on like their relationship with each other. But yeah, it just felt nice to sit at the computer, like sit at my desk in my new office and like do a little bit of writing. It felt really nice, and I'm hoping to find some sort of routine with my job and everything that I need to do, where I can get some writing done. I'm trying to set goals, trying to accomplish those goals. A big thing for me right now though is I'm incredibly behind on videos, so right now my priority is kind of catching up so I can get back to, you know, regularly scheduled programming. But I want my writing to become a priority again. She did talk about priorities in this book, which was also very helpful. I'm hoping to find some sort of routine where I can get more writing done, because I really miss writing, and I kind of have felt kind of aimless recently, not working towards something super actively. So fingers crossed that I can get my shit together. I'm thinking me and Peyton, or I'm hoping me and Peyton will do like a brainstorming video call soon, because I feel like I just would love to bounce some ideas off of her for this new book and just kind of chat with her about writing. I always find that super inspiring. And then I really want to get back to doing live writing sprints as well on my channel. I love doing those so much, and now that I have like a nice beautiful setup, I honestly feel more motivated to do it. Maybe I'll try to get back into that in the next month or two, because I love chatting with you guys in real time about writing and writing alongside you guys. So hopefully I can do that as well. I have a lot of things that I want to do, clearly, and I just feel like I'm having a hard time finding a balance to do everything that I want to do. And I think I really just need to like prioritize different things on different days. So like have a day where writing is a priority and another day where YouTube is a priority, and kind of just, you know, do it that way. Another day where work is a priority, like going to work obviously would be the main priority for that day. Maybe like picking like a smaller priority for when I get off of work, that kind of vibe. I don't know. I really want to get back to myself, because I don't think that I've felt like myself in a very, very long time, because I am not writing actively and I'm not having fun with it, and I'm not like, I don't feel like myself, and it is driving me bonkers. Like I don't feel good. So fingers crossed that I can kind of get my shit together, because this is miserable. But anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying working through this book, and I'm enjoying the beginning stages of this Valentine's Day book that I'm trying to write. Hopefully everything starts to click into place soon. Okay, so it's currently March 7th. I don't know the last time I spoke to you guys, but I have read more of The Happy Writer today. I'm now on page 172, nearly halfway through the book. I've been annotating it and I've been really, really enjoying it. This book has just been making me feel so inspired. I love Marissa Meyer and I appreciate her as a writer so much, and I'm just really loving hearing all of her little insights into writing, and to hear that, you know, that she struggles with things too, because obviously when you read a book by your favorite author, it's like it feels so effortless, and like they're just these magical, super, you know, smart humans, and you could never do what they do. But at the end of the day, we're all writers. We are all doing the same thing, and we are all struggling with the same things as well. So it's just really inspiring to, you know, read about another writer, one that I really respect and value. So I'm just really, really enjoying this. I'm almost to the end of part 3, which is from first draft to finally finished, or bring more joy to your process. So it's talking about each step of like the book. I'm currently on the revise section, but I decided to stop there for the time being, because I wanted to like actually get some writing done today. So I put this one down a little while ago, and now I've been trying to work on my character profiles for my Valentine's Day book that I'm currently trying to work on, and I'm enjoying it so far. I normally kind of brainstorm the plot a bit more before I like jump into characters, but I really want to go in depth with my characters for this book and like really figure them out and really let them influence the plot, if that makes sense. I don't know if I've talked about that in this vlog already, but obviously the characters influence the plot, but it normally comes about later for me. Like I figure out the plot and then like I start working on characters and like kind of do them in tandem a little bit, but I kind of want to work on characters first and foremost for right now. Obviously plot things are coming up as I'm doing it, which is great. That's what I want to happen. But yeah, I was just trying to figure out the main character's hobbies, so I was like writing down a list of potential hobbies and how they could influence the story and their relationship with each other, like things that they could do together, or, you know, things like that. I have a lot of things to figure out about this book. I'm working in a Word document right now, which is very unlike me. I normally do all of my brainstorming by hand, but having my new keyboard is making me want to type more, so I'm trying it on the computer. But I do have a notebook for this project that I don't know if I've shown you guys at all, but I got it at HomeSense, and it's this really cute pink notebook with cherries on it, and it's not like strictly Valentine's Day, but it kind of gives the Valentine's Day vibes. So I'm really excited to use this notebook. I just haven't actually written in it yet, but I would like to. Yeah, Marissa Meyer in The Happy Writer was talking about how you should write down things that you love about your project, so that when you're struggling you can come back to the list of things and remind yourself why you love your project and why you want to be writing this book in particular. So it says, write down everything you love, all the potential you see in it, all the reasons you're excited to see it brought to life, from big important reasons like I think the story could literally save lives by the way it tackles issues of bullying and depression, to less important but still totally legitimate reasons like the love interest plays guitar and guitar players are hot. You might list commercial reasons, I really think dystopian books are coming back around and I want to be ready for their revival, or career reasons, I've been saying for years I want to reinvent myself as a mystery writer and this is my chance to do it. To who cares, you just really like it reasons, there's a talking wombat and who doesn't love a book with a talking wombat. Write it all down, trust me. Knowing your why is going to come in handy when you hit your book's marquee middle, but more on that later. For now, enjoy the rush of falling in love with your shiny new idea. And that is something that I would like to do, just sit down and write everything about this project that I'm excited about. Like I said, don't know a whole lot about this project yet, so I don't think very many things to write down yet, but that is something that I would like to do, something I would like to take out of this book and, you know, actually put it into practice. But I think I do finally have a name for my main character, which is really exciting. I've been kind of stuck between 4 different names this entire time, and I think I found one that I like that comes with nicknames that I love. I love trying to think of nicknames that particularly I can envision the love interest saying that gets me feeling a little bit giddy. There's nothing I love more in a romance book than like a cute little nickname, even if it's like simple, just like shortening the main character's name or calling them by their last name, just anything like that I'm a huge sucker for. Yeah, especially when they only pull out the nickname in like tender little moments. I love it. So I think I'm pleased with my main character's name, and I've started working particularly on the main characters. I've done a couple of things for the love interest, but I don't know if I literally have no idea what my last update was about, but I have been like writing some notes down and like asking myself questions that I can go back through and answer and like figure out why these things are the way that they are. Like I wrote something about my main character and I'm like, okay, but why is she like this? Why does she feel like she has to do this thing? And also like the whole like catalyst for my book starting, like the beginning of the book, the main character gets broken up with by her boyfriend, and I don't know why this happens. I know nothing about their relationship, so I need to kind of figure that out and flesh that out so I know why they broke up, what their relationship was like, and why she wants to get back with him, and kind of what's going on there, who her ex-boyfriend is as a person. I'm thinking I don't want him to be all that great, but I'm very excited to do that as well. And then I kind of have stuff written about like main character and the love interest's relationship and kind of their dynamic with each other. I'm just super excited about it. But I was at the part in my main character's profile where I had to figure out her friends, and I know nothing about her friends. I just know she has 2 best friends, and I don't know what they look like, what their names are, what their vibe is. I also know nothing about her family. I don't know if she has like, you know, a mom and a dad, or, you know, a mom and a mom, a dad and a dad, or if she only has one parent. Like, I don't know what her situation is, and I'm just kind of waiting for it to like click, because so far in all my planning, family has not been something at the top of my mind. And obviously with like young adults, sometimes the parents just really aren't there to begin with. I do try to have like my parents be present in the book to some capacity. I don't know what her family situation is looking like. If it's a good situation, a bad one, like a hostile one, like a comfortable one, like I have no idea what's going on in the family dynamic, and that is something that I would really like to figure out. So as you can see, I have a lot of things that I need to figure out, so that would be nice. I also don't know, this is gonna be a long update, I am so sorry, but I also don't know if I've talked to you guys about like my writing plans for this year and my timeline for working on this book. That's another thing that Marissa Meyer talks about in this book, is like setting yourself a deadline so that, you know, you have like, instead of just working aimlessly, you have something that you're working towards, a deadline that you're working towards. And that is something that I always try to do. So I currently have a rough, very rough plan for the year going up until the end of the year actually. So I'm only going to talk about what pertains to this project and what I'm doing with this project. But basically I want to start drafting this book by May, and I want to finish the book by the end of June. That is kind of my goal, and I'm trying to be realistic with the timeline of things, because I do have a job now which takes up some of my time. Not as much as it was during the holiday season. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I still have a lot of other things that I do, like reading. I have a lot of reading that I need to be doing, and also YouTube. I'm trying to get back on some sort of consistent schedule. I'm trying to get through the backlog of videos that I have filmed. I just have like a lot of little things going on, so I'm trying to be realistic in this scheduling. So basically this month in March, I'm hoping to just continue the brainstorming and character work for this book and seeing how far I can get with that, with the hopes of starting to outline in April. And I've given myself the entire month of April to do the outline, and that can, you know, still include brainstorming, but I basically just want to outline the book, which sometimes does coincide with brainstorming, because, you know, I figure out some beats and then I put it down. So, you know, that's kind of the rough plan, and I'm excited about it, but I'm also nervous. I have not written a new book since 2023. That's when I last wrote a book. It was Mission Rom-Com, which is my adult romance novel. All of last year I was revising What You Mean to Me. So it's been a while since I drafted a book, which always makes me anxious. And this is why I try to draft a new book every single year so that I never like go too long between drafting a book, because then it starts to feel really intimidating because it's my least favorite part of the process. So it's been a little bit too long for my comfort, which is why I'm like itching to draft a new book. And it's also just like the most rewarding and satisfying thing. Like, while it is my least favorite part of the process, there is no better feeling than writing the end and finishing the book. No matter how many times I've done it, it feels amazing each time, and I'm just kind of itching to have that feeling again, you know. And I think I've been feeling so disconnected from writing recently that I'm just really craving some sort of positive feeling in regards to writing. So I'm ready to fall back in love with writing, which is obviously what this whole vlog is about. It's about finding the happy writer within me, and right now I'm just excited that I'm working again, because it's been so long since I've done any semblance of writing that just sitting down at the computer and typing feels really good. I'm gonna get back to it. It's currently 3:30, so I still have some time left in my day. I only want to write until I think my mom comes home, which is going to be around 4:15, because we might go out to IKEA, and then we've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer together every day after dinner, so I really want to do that as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get some more work done on the character profiles. I read a huge chunk of The Happy Writer last night, just kind of impromptu. I wasn't planning on reading any of this yesterday. I was reading a whole bunch for a reading vlog that I'm currently filming, so I wasn't really thinking about also spending a lot of time reading this. Hi Chandler. But I decided to sit down and read some. I felt kind of inspired to do something related to writing, so I figured picking this up was the right choice. And I got so much out of this book yesterday. I read, I think, a whole part of the book. Okay, so I actually finished reading part 3. I had 5 chapters left of part 3, so I read all of those, and then I read all of part 4, which is about querying and publishing and things like that. So now I'm on part 5, called Here There Be Dragons, Common Challenges to Writer Happiness, which I'm really excited to kind of jump into today. But I'm getting so much out of this book. This book is so valuable to me already, and every time I sit down and read it, I text Peyton and I'm like, oh my god, like, you need to like sit down and read this book, because I think it's going to be so helpful to you. She's really trying hard to get into a writing routine and like really connect with writing again, and I'm so proud of her, and I just think she's going to get so much out of this book. But I'm loving it so much, and I kind of wanted to share some of my favorite quotes that were in the book yesterday, things that I tabbed and annotated as being very inspiring, and like things that I really wanted to hear. And Chandler wants to go under this blanket so badly. He likes to bury himself under blankets all the time. Hi buddy. You know, I just took all your fur off of this chair, and you're just gonna get it all back there. Yeah. Come here, let everybody see ya. Come on. There you go. There you go. Say hello. Oh, aw, thank you, buddy. Oh, thank you. So yeah, there were so many good inspirational lines from yesterday, the chunk that I read, that I just felt like I really wanted to sit here and share with you guys, so that, you know, you can further decide if this is a book that will be helpful and beneficial to you. Literally, like, this whole part, beautiful. I find like this whole book is, you know, about trying to find more happiness and joy in your writing, which is something that I personally really struggle with, and she was talking about it a lot yesterday. Like, this whole chapter here is called Enjoy the Journey. So let me just read this passage to you guys, and then maybe we can chat a little bit. You plug away day after day, page after page, knowing that sometimes it is difficult and exhausting. Sometimes you battle with your inner demons. Sometimes you wonder what on earth drew you to this ludicrous passion in the first place, but also knowing that there will be those other days, the days in which you receive a flash of inspiration that makes everything around you pause, like looking through a kaleidoscope, all your thoughts crystallizing around this new irresistible idea. Or those days in which every sentence isn't a struggle at all, in which the vision in your mind's eye flows through your fingers onto the page, the clicking of the keyboard a steady, persistent beat propelling you forward. There will be days when you emerge from your writing sanctuary filled with energy and creativity, excited to get back to it tomorrow. There will be days when writing goes beyond fun, when it becomes transcendent. Are you kidding me? Marissa Meyer is my favorite. I love her so much. But it's true, like, there will always be those like hard parts of writing, those really hard days where nothing seems to be going right and where you're like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, why is this the dream that I chose to pursue? Why is this what I'm spending my time doing when it's making me so miserable? I battle with that all of the time. But then there are those moments, you know, when I take a break from writing and then all I feel is this like physical itch to get back to it. Like I can feel my fingers just like needing to type on a keyboard or like grab a pen and write stuff down. Like I have that like writerly itch, which I hope you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that, you know. Or the times when, you know, you get an idea, a spark of an idea, and all of a sudden your book just comes together. It is just so magical. And then there's this whole chapter called "But When Does It Get Easy?" And basically the answer is it never gets easy. But she has a little section there that says, but what does get easier? And she kind of talks about how the fact that over time we develop a process that works for us that may change from book to book slightly, like each book requires something different, but like we do like uncover methods that work for us, and like we kind of find our flow with our process, if you know what I mean. Whereas like when you're writing your first book, like you have no idea what you're doing, what works for you, so you kind of try everything until something sticks. And I feel like that's something, and I wrote a little sticky note about it, but that's something that I don't think about that often, and something that I don't kind of celebrate enough, because when I was writing my very first novel when I was 16, I had no idea what worked for me, even for my second novel, because I feel like whatever I did for the first novel did not work for me. So I don't think it was really until my third novel that it really felt like I started to get a process. But like with those first two books, like I had no idea what I was doing, and I like tried so many different methods. I knew that I wanted to outline, because I knew that with stories that I'd written when I was younger that I had intentions of making my first book. I could never get past like 60 pages because I would always like back myself into a corner and not know how to get out of it because I never had a plan. And so I ended up flailing around so much because I didn't know what I was doing. Like I would try so many different methods of outlining, like doing the index card method where you write down scene by scene what you're doing, and then you can, you know, rearrange it on the floor to figure out your outline. And like I did the same thing but on post-it notes, so I would always have like huge clumps of post-it notes everywhere. You know, I had so many different things that I was trying to do, and I wrote my first novel completely out of order. Like if I didn't like something, I would just write a different scene, but I would never like organize it properly in the document, which sounds so stupid. And it was a pain in my ass when I tried to like put the book in a chronological order. So silly. But then by the time I got to my third novel, like I started trying to find a bit more of a process, found things that worked for me, and then I discovered Sake the Cat Writes a Novel, and that really like solidified my process and things that I like to do. And then as I revised, you know, I found my process with revision, and it's just such a magical thing to like have a process, even if it does like alter and change over time. And for each book, because like I said, each book requires different things, like it's just such a magical thing that like we find a process and then all of a sudden it's like we kind of know what we're doing, even if each book comes with its own set of challenges and, you know, things that you have to do. Like it's just something that I don't acknowledge enough, and it's really cool and it's really exciting, and I love my process. And that's something that I want to take more pride in, that I do have a process and that like I somewhat know what I'm doing, you know? She actually has a bunch of things on this page that I highlighted. It says, we become familiar with the highs and lows of various writing stages so that when the inevitable doubt creeps in, we can look at our word count and think, yep, 20,000 words in, here come the insecurities. Or, okay, in about 3 more chapters, I'm going to be through the murky middle, and then I know it will start to be fun again. We develop rituals and traditions that help us through our least favorite parts of the process. We know that the difficult times will pass and the good times will return. We connect with our intuition and can tell on a gut level when a project is right for us right now, or when it needs more time to simmer, or if we're writing it out of a sense of obligation rather than because it's truly the right project to take on. We start to trust ourselves, and that does make things easier. But I would also argue, do you really want it to be easy? Because the challenge of it can also be the joy, and there's no comparison for the sense of accomplishment we feel when surmounting a particularly difficult challenge. When I wrote, I love this way of looking at things, because I find often I get so stuck in how hard things are and how difficult things can be, and especially when I'm drafting, like I hate drafting. And she mentions that later on as well, like some people really hate drafting and just try to get through it as quickly as possible so that they can get to the revision stage, which is me. 100% that is me. But I feel such a sense of accomplishment when I get to the end of that first draft, or you know, when I figure out a really difficult plot point or figure out and crack a character. It's just so rewarding, and if everything was easy, I don't think that things would feel the same. I don't think I would feel as proud of myself. Like some revisions of Reasons Why Not To felt like they were going to kill me. Like I felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. I felt like I was never going to get there. I wasn't good enough to get there. But then I got to a place where I was really proud and happy with that book, and that feeling was like irreplaceable. Like my goodness, I felt so immensely proud of myself and so happy with the book. So like just these little reminders and like little like inspiring tidbits that she's giving throughout this book, I'm taking so much value from. I'm appreciating her words just so much. And then I also love this one at the end of that chapter that says, when you think about it, we're all pretty much living our own character arcs, and as we writers know, the more challenges we throw at our protagonists, the stronger they become. The same can be said of us. So whenever the writing seems particularly difficult, remember, you'll get through this and you'll be a better writer because of it. Like, it's such a simple little reminder, and it's such kind of like an obvious one, but I just love the way that she like worded that. I love her so much, and I'm getting, like I said, so much value out of this book, and I'm enjoying it so much. The last little piece that I'll leave you guys on for specifically pulling quotes from this book, it's in the querying part of the book. Is talking about like, don't sweat the statistics of like, you know, how hard it is to get published and how many, you know, clients an agent can take on out of all the queries that they get. It says, it doesn't matter because you are not a statistic. You are a real person, a real writer. Focus on the fact that nearly 1 million books are published each year, and that isn't even including self-published books. Why couldn't yours be one of them? No reason at all. People are getting published all the time. You can too. It's just these little pep talks that like I really need to hear right now, and that's 100% what I wanted from this book. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and I recommend it to literally all of you. I'm having such a good and fulfilling time reading this book, and I'm so excited to get into this next part because I feel like I need it. So I'm gonna read at least a little bit of this, and then I might try to get some actual writing and work done, even though I do need to do some more reading for my reading vlog. So we're gonna see what happens, but I definitely kind of want to start off my day, my work day, by reading more of this. Finished part 4 in The Happy Writer, and I enjoyed it as well. There were less things that I was kind of marking up in that section just because a lot of it wasn't super relevant to me at the moment. I'm sure it'll become relevant in the future. Oh no, part 5, sorry. Do I know Roman numerals? Yes, I do. Like some of them, like, yes, did like relate to me, like writer's block and perfectionism and imposter syndrome. So I found those ones really valuable. But as we kind of got into like the second half of the part, it was less kind of relatable to me right now, but could become helpful in the future. Things about periods of grief and loss, second book syndrome, which is specifically talking about when you've published your first book, so the second book after that one, quitting an agent, losing your agent, editor, publicist, or publisher. Obviously I'm not in that position for those last ones there, so I read them, but I wasn't really taking much note on them. Again, like I said, that is something that in the future I may have to refer back to, but for now doesn't really apply to me in my life. But part 6 is, these are a few of my favorite things, little joys, big payoffs. And that is the last section in the book, but I took a break to do some actual writing and not just sit down and read this all day. So I pulled up my brainstorming document for my Valentine's Day book that we've been working on in this vlog, and I did a little bit of character work. I've been asking myself a lot of questions, trying to answer some of them, or at least brainstorm some of them. I grabbed my notebook and I had like a sticky note where I was trying to like come up with different scenarios to answer one of my questions, and then I was also trying to figure out side character names for my main character's best friends, so I was working on that. But now I think I honestly might return to The Happy Writer and try to read more. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it today, but I feel really motivated to like read as much of this book as possible, so that's what I'm gonna work on now. I just finished The Happy Writer by Marissa Meyer, and I couldn't be happier about it. Oh my goodness, I adored this book so much. I just feel like I got so much out of it, and I'm so excited to like reread sections of it again when I'm feeling like I need a boost of inspiration or just looking through my annotations. Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of Marissa Meyer. I feel like we all know this. We can see my Marissa Meyer shelves right above my head there. I am obsessed with her. And so to get a writing book from her that is not necessarily a writing craft book, there is definitely some writing craft tips in here, but it's mainly like an inspiration book, like a book to just help you find how to be a happier writer, how to find more joy in your writing, how, you know, just to have a better outlook on life and maybe the harder parts of writing. And I find that I oftentimes do get kind of stuck in that rut of being kind of negative and not being able to see outside of like the difficulties and the hardships of writing, the hard parts that I struggle with. Like I find it sometimes really difficult to remember the good things and remember, like, you know, to celebrate my accomplishments and to find the joy of writing, which is why I felt like this was such like an important book for me to read, especially right now when I've been struggling with writing for so long and I haven't written in months until literally like this month. I don't think I had written since like October or November, which is the longest I've gone without writing in years. So I feel like this book just came out at like the absolute perfect time for when I really needed it, and I'm just really excited and inspired to fully dive into writing and find my flow with it again. Near the end there, she was talking about like creating your sanctuary, like a space that you feel creative in and inspired in, and a space that you feel cozy and safe and all of these things. And that's why I'm so grateful that I now have this library office, and I'm, you know, working on getting it to become my sanctuary. But I love my bookshelf. My bookshelves are like my favorite thing in the world, and I so often will just like sit in my chair or walk into the room and just like stare at the bookshelves and be like, I cannot believe these are mine. I cannot believe that they look like this. Like I am so beyond pleased with how these bookshelves look. So this definitely is part of my sanctuary. Right now, I would say this room is like maybe 85 to 90% done, and like my sanctuary, the office library of my dreams. I need to finish organizing the desk because it's really messy and unorganized. I don't even want to show you what my drawer looks like right now. And then I want to do a gallery wall on that side of the room that I haven't gotten around to yet, as well as some stuff on this side as well. I know you guys can't see what I'm talking about, but it's fine. And then I do have like 4 boxes of stuff sitting right by my bathroom door that need to be moved because no thank you. And then I have my step ladder that I use to reach the top shelves of my bookcase, and I need to find a space to put it where I can easily access it but where it's not a total eyesore. So I'm also working on that because where I have it right now is like in my direct like eye view, and I don't want to be staring at a little ladder. Anyways, I'm very grateful to have this sanctuary because I talked many times while we were living in my grandparents' house that I felt so deeply uninspired there. It was so dark in that room. It was just like not at all good and like productive for my creativity. I felt so stifled in that space and so uncreative. Like it just was not me. I tried to do everything I could to like make it feel inspiring and make it feel like me, and I did do the best that I could. But I'm just so happy to have, for the first time ever, fully my own space to work in, and a space that I can fully decorate and organize how I want to. And I feel like that's going to be so helpful in me finding like creativity and inspiration and like all of the things for my writing journey again. So I'm just feeling really grateful, and I kind of got off topic there. I did not mean to ramble like that, but yeah, I just think that this book is so good, and I think it's 100% worth the read. It's different than your like average writing book, I would say. So I definitely recommend that you guys pick this up at whatever stage of, you know, writing that you're in. Yeah, I'm so happy with this book, and I'm hoping that it will help me be a bit of a happier writer. But yeah, I do think I might end the vlog here because I feel like I've talked your ear off enough, and really the whole point was to read this book. I wish I got a bit more progress done in my Valentine's Day book that I'm working on, but in the vein of the happy writer, we celebrate the accomplishments that we have made and not focus on the things that we didn't do. And to be fair, I didn't really set a specific goal for this vlog anyways, I don't think. So I'm incredibly happy that I've at least sat down and worked on this book bit by bit. So I'm just feeling really good about that. So any progress that I have made, you know, I started character profiles for both of my main characters, or my main character and the love interest. I started doing some plot brainstorming. Like, I have made progress and I'm really happy about that, and I'm excited to continue with this forward momentum. I'm just really happy that I'm writing again because I, like I said, have not written in months really, and so it feels really good to be back at it again and making progress and making writing vlogs for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this writing vlog. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know what you've been working on writing wise recently. I would really love to know. Subscribe if you've not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.